Pull Up a Chair from the 408 offers an insightful look at the San Jose of yesterday, today, and tomorrow through the eyes of our guests and through our own experiences as lifelong locals. Hosts Bill Barron and Pat Quinn are both fourth-generation San Joseans who bring a unique blend of perspective, curiosity, and humor to conversations about the city they call home and the region once known as the Valley of the Heart's Delight. Episodes will feature guests from all walks of life in every corner of the community, from longtime friends and local business owners to community leaders, movers and shakers, and even a few colorful characters who somehow find their way into our story. We'll learn more about our guests in a deeper dive, and they'll offer real-world perspectives on topics that matter and plenty that don't, to the nearly 1 million people who call San Jose home. And when we need a brief vacation from common sense, we'll even invite the occasional politician. So, pull up a chair, whether you're at home, on the road, or simply serving the remainder of your sentence. Join Barron and Quinn for conversations filled with insight, opinion, perspective, laughter, and the occasional moment that leaves you wondering, did they just say that? Well, Bill, here we are. Episode 1 of Pull Up a Chair from the 408.
I can't believe we're finally here.
Which, by the way, that title took us about 39 emails and AI and about 6-7 weeks to nail down.
I felt like 6 or 7 months.
Exactly. Mostly like this episode will. But it's our first episode of Pull Up a Chair from the 408. We had this crazy idea, obviously, to...
he had the crazy idea.
True, but I conned him into it.
I'm a sucker.
I need somebody with some organization. So super excited about our topic today. Every episode we'll have a new guest, new topic, and some regular nonsense that we'll interject along the way. And so, from the 408 intimates everything we're going to talk about either lives, breathes here, or emanated for here, or has a connection to our beloved town of San Jose.
Yeah, and in most cases, our interviewees will be friends. They'll be folks we are familiar with in the community. We're both fourth-generation San Joseans. We've got a lot of history in this town, and there are some tremendous individuals here doing some terrific things in our community that will bring to light.
Yeah. And, a lot of stories get told in this town, and these are going to be our stories from the people we know and the impact that we think they've had on our great town. So our stories, Bill, kind of go back to high school.
Yeah, they do.
Where you and I met. I as an incoming freshman, you as a worldly junior at Bellarmine College Preparatory.
God, I hated you.
And that's where our relationship started.
Oh.
He did not like me.
He was such a good golfer, and I was playing on the varsity golf team at Bellarmine. And this freshman kid shows up and qualifies to play as a varsity letterman as a freshman, and it just drove me absolutely crazy.
I hadn't earned my stripes in your mind.
It was, it was my own insecurity. Or it was just really...
Well, that's what I assisted
smart thinking. But I'll tell you what, you played fantastic all 4 years. You made the school proud.
That was a great experience, indeed. And we actually had, after that bump in the road, our story continues at San Jose State.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been to San Jose State campus yet, but I got in on the last day possible and was immediately recruited by a family friend, Don Nunez, to come and get involved with a fraternity at campus, Alpha Tau Omega. And during that summer going into freshman year, there was an event, pre-rush event at, of all people,
my
Bill
folks'
Barron's
house was a great party house.
Parents' house, yeah.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm asked to rally some other folks that I knew coming out of Bell.
We were rushing the hell out of Bellarmine guys.
Yeah.
Well, that year. Fall of 83.
It was a big flow coming in.
It was, yeah. Fall of 83.
And I tell you, the minute I walked into his house, Bill comes over to say hello. It was like we had been the best friends for 10 years.
Which was absolutely not the case.
No, not at all.
But somehow it just came together, didn't it?
It just clicked.
Yeah.
And
I think we wanted pledges so badly. We'd scrape the bottom of anything. Yeah,
exactly.
Your folks were there?
Yep. No, right? Absolutely. Yeah. The parents were there.
The parents were
very
there.
Convivial and natural.
Yeah.
And comfortable.
For sure.
And so then go into freshman year and, pledging Alpha Tau Omega. My father said I majored in fraternity, so I did very well. But
And minored. Both.
had the opportunity to have a big brother. You have a big brother when you're in a fraternity house and a little brother. And I got a fellow who was unfortunately couldn't find himself for a lot of reasons. And it wasn't who I wanted. And so I petitioned and I said, I want that guy. And that was Bill. And lo and behold, I got Bill as my big bro.
Best little brother that I ever had in the fraternity.
And we have maintained that big bro, little bro synergy ever since.
For sure. Yeah.
Even ended up being dragged on the freeway by him.
Well, that's a story that you don't have to bring up because the police have already written it down and it's in the records of SJPD.
If we make it past one episode, you'll hear about it.
Right. We won't go any further than that, but let's just say that Pat did get drugged, literally, in a vehicle.
But
my dad's old Regal. God, that was a hell of a car. The T-tops.
Red velour interior.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful stuff.
But again, we'll for a later day. But suffice to say, our relationship sealed and the commonality of our lives. And Bill's been a tremendous mentor in philanthropic efforts that I'd been involved in school and then after school and all the way till today. And so I'm always very appreciative of that to keep me focused. And we've had a lot of fun with that along the way as well.
Absolutely true.
Helping a lot of folks, which is very satisfying.
PQ was the president of the Northern California Golf Association. Got invited to play in the AT&T, rather. I wanted to call it the Crosby. And boy, did we have fun raising dough for a cause very near and dear to your heart, which was and remains Youth on Course.
Yeah, 100%. Raised $268,000 in one day.
Just about.
And so that was super cool. But Bill's got me involved with Stroke Awareness Foundation events, the Monopoly Nights, which was also for the Heart Association. Somehow I was able to beat Carl Berg in the finals of Monopoly.
How about that?
Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
Yep.
And enjoyed the trip to Hawaii.
He has a few hotels these days.
Exactly. And I have zero. But philanthropy is certainly a big part of our connection
for sure
over the years. But just, friendships with our families and concentric friendship circles, all those things. But along that path, the people that we've met and been able to keep in contact with have been amazing. And we're super blessed to have one of those folks here today as our very first guest.
Yeah, he's just one of the most marvelous people in San Jose and the surrounds.
Yeah. We chose this individual because he's afforded us the space in this beautiful locker room.
He'll come to regret that in a big way.
Podcast booth, which is very official, far beyond what we could have ever imagined. But we describe our guest as a true friend, but he's a Renaissance man. He's a coach, father, grandfather, ad nauseum. How many grandkids? I don't know, it's thousands. Wine grower, entrepreneur. Did we mention chef? The man cooks effortlessly for 1 or 1,000. I'm always in awe and appreciative of his capabilities there. In fact, today, in typical chef fashion, he brought us gifts. By the way, that's a good gig. We should encourage all our guests to bring us gifts. But homemade bucatini.
Oh, so good. So good.
Some meat product with pork in nature, which is so
Looks
tasty.
Like your intestines. Almost.
Oh, it's so good. And that's what he does. And so we're blessed to have him. Currently, he's the inexhaustible executive director of the San Jose Sports Authority. And we are excited to pull up a chair with John Poch and hear the rest of the story. We're so pleased to have John Poch here, good friend and good San Josean by way of Cleveland, for God's sakes. And that's part of what we'll dig down into. In all transparency, folks, we've sent John a few questions and topics that we were going to talk about, so we have a little sense of that. But
I was supposed to open that?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we're going to ask you the completely opposite questions.
Okay,
we just did the setup. But, we won't go by year, but take us back to the beginning of you and your family's journey from Cleveland out west.
No, I'm proud to be from Cleveland. Now, I've been here since 1968.
Yeah.
So, you do the math, right? So it's
I
58,
was told there'd be no math.
58 years
He's
of
not good at it.
San Jose. So no. Little Italy, Cleveland, a great environment to grow up from. And so we moved here, and I was in first grade.
Yeah.
Been here ever since.
How many years was that, John, your first grade experience?
What's your
That's
best memory
funny.
of Cleveland, John?
That's funny because, I was San Jose, so Valley View Elementary, John Muir Middle School, Pioneer High School.
Right.
And then junior college in San Jose State. And the funniest thing is the first person I met was Ed Davis in first grade.
Oh, we're sorry about that.
Yeah. We like to say that was the hardest 3 years of his life. So that's to your line. So, no, I love coming from Cleveland because we're from an Italian-Spanish family. My mother's family is Salamanca. My father's family is Campobasso, Italy. So I grew up 100% Italian-Spanish. I never even been to a restaurant until I moved to California.
Wow. Everything was at home.
Everything was at home.
Yeah.
Freshly made.
Everything.
Yeah.
My whole life. We grew up on our family pastas, our Spanish dishes, and the culture's never changed. Instilled it into my family and to my daughter.
Yeah. No, that's very cool. And we're the beneficiary of that on many occasions, up to including.
John, through your what, seventh birthday, give or take? First grade, you say?
It was Cleveland. It was 14.
What was the fondest memory that you might recall?
Oh,
As you
just
sit here today.
it's just everything was so family oriented.
Mhm.
Where I grew up, it's not where you're from; it's what parish are you,
Mhm.
right? Because everything's so tight to your church, right? And it's just the traditions, the feast of the seven fish.
Yep. Which you
You know.
still do today.
I still do it to this day.
Yeah.
And just the values of being a small, tight community. And we're an ethnic community, wasn't it? It was all Italian, but we had Slovenians, we have Polish, and that's the neighborhoods we grew up in.
Yeah.
And so it's never left me.
Yeah.
I still love that culture. And
that comes through in our friendships and
Mhm.
engagements. Having had the pleasure of getting to know your dad, knowing your mom, Uncle Augie. I mean, these are some classic characters, right? And they are all about family. And it's nice to see when we're around them.
yeah, no doubt about it.
Family and friends for sure.
So, I can't talk about your family without talking about Cucciadati Day.
Yeah.
So Cucciadati Day, you can explain this, your day.
It's one of the traditions is that always the first Saturday in December, our family cookie from Naples, it's Cucciadati. It's like a Fig Newton,
So
kind of
good.
glorified Italian style.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
And it's by seniority.
Yeah.
The older you are, you had the better workstations. And the filling of the Cucciadatis, it's a raisin filling, with some dates, a little bit of booze in there, but they look like turds.
Yeah.
So the newcomers,
That's why they frost them, John.
yeah, the newcomers are turd rollers. The senior folks are making the dough.
And they don't even know it, though.
Yeah,
The newcomers are like, yeah.
But what we've always done, because we have 30 plus people on Cucciadati Day, so not sexist, so all the women in the house doing the cookies and the doughs, the boys go in the backyard with me, and we do that Festa di Miale, which is a pork fest. And you guys are both in there. We
Yes, we have.
brine the pork shoulder. We make salami. We make mortadella. We make sausage. So it's kind of things I learned growing up.
Right.
That we share with our friends.
Well, I got to first attend because I used my father-in-law
As a
the church
roux.
key.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, perfect.
Hey, John, my father-in-law, Dick, would really love to see what this is about. And then I've got to go to help Dick. Hey, Dick, we got invited. And he would go begrudgingly only because he didn't know what it was about, per se. And, I don't want to be there a long time. And, this is on a Sunday. And so we rolled in there and, 3.5 hours later, I'm pulling him out because he had the best time ever and continue to ensuing years.
And math's not your strong subject. Try 5.5 hours.
Yeah. I only paid attention to 3.5, but he was welcomed by, your friends and your dad and your mom and sisters. And you look around, look how well they're working together and the food that kept coming, and you had them engaged in making the pasta fazool and all these things. It was magic. It
PQ,
really
you
was.
mentioned his sisters. So, John, you are the only boy in the family.
Yep, 5 sisters.
Of 900 women.
What feels like 900 women and 5 sisters. What was that experience like?
I mean, I had 3 older, 2 younger, 13 cousins.
So
all
you're right in the
girls.
middle.
13 cousins, all girls.
13 cousins,
all girls. Yeah, it's on both sides of the family. So it's I knew what it was like.
Did they change up the style when they had what happened? Why you? Why the one guy? Huh?
I was cross dressing at I think 8. Those are called hand.
Hey, those are hand-me-downs.
Hand-me-downs,
Yeah, exactly right.
No,
In your
no, you
family,
just-
for sure.
It did teach me patience.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Were they all
3 older,
good
2
cook?
younger.
Yeah, but good cooks themselves. We're going to touch on that in a bit, but
They enjoyed cooking. Patty, especially, you see her at all the
Yeah,
fundraisers.
sure.
She volunteers. They all enjoyed cooking. But yeah.
there you go. Interesting. 5 sisters. Yikes.
So every time I think about and hear about consistently from John, his life story and what he did, it reemphasizes that I've done very little in my life. And I think back to a specific time that obviously I didn't know you then as well. But when you're at San Jose State, you're playing soccer. You eventually go on to start coaching and do some other things at San Jose State, which we'll certainly touch upon. But during that time, you and your parents get the idea, and you'll tell us about it, to open a restaurant. And this is such at the core, I think, of who we know you to be, because anybody that knows restaurateurs that have passion about their restaurants are very similar in their drive to provide the best, make a family atmosphere for their clients and guests, and want to share it with everybody. And you no longer have a restaurant,
And do
but you
so
do
with
the same thing.
And with a smile. It's as though, John, you and your wife, Deb, operate with these smiles as though
you're
nothing
married?
goes wrong, as though nothing goes wrong. And we're sure in cooking things go wrong, but you don't even show it. It's just so graceful in what you do. It's as though it's on ice, right? Just skating around.
But how did the genesis of DiPuccio's restaurants come into play?
Yeah. So my autobiography is life in Plan B.
Yeah.
It's been my whole life is Plan B. Because originally went to San Jose State to play soccer and had an injury, kind of a setback, which was fine. I'll recover from that. But at the time, my father was a contractor. He built a couple of restaurants at the time, Florentines.
Oh, yeah.
Very popular.
Sure, of course.
We knew the owners very well. And my dad was entrenched with them just from building the restaurants. And so he approached me. He's like, why don't we do one together? You've worked them your whole life. You grew up cooking with your mother. We can do this without even consulting my mom.
Was your dad a cook, by the way?
No, he couldn't
No.
boil water.
Couldn't boil water. All right.
But my mother, Spanish Italian, was the greatest cook ever.
Yep.
Housewives.
Yep.
And so that was the genesis. Is I couldn't play soccer. I'm going to be out for a year with an injury.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's do the restaurant. So borrowed money, and we left college my junior year because Deb and I were together planning to get married. We've been together since high school. So it's like, how are we both going to go to school? And she wanted to go to medical school. So I figured, you know what? We'll try the restaurant. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to school. But it took her 13 years of college, of medical school, a residency, a fellowship. And then when she finished, I sold cold turkey to have the opportunity to go back and finish my degree. So
it served its purpose on one level financially and otherwise to help support.
yeah, my family
Several
wanted
efforts.
to do. I'm the only son. I loved every minute of the restaurant, all 13 years. There's times I wish I was still there, but loved every minute. My philosophy was, if the customer didn't come back, it was my fault. So
Well, you cared that much.
you get first shot, one shot of that first impression.
Yeah.
We made everything, all the pastas. We did 400 meals a day. The same menu, like our friends at La Villa, right? The same menu, or like any pasta. When you walk in, you go to the counter and you pick your pasta. But everything we did was made fresh.
Fresh, yeah.
And not only in our restaurant, I made restaurant pasta for 14 other restaurants I delivered to, and 3 grocery stores.
Yeah.
And we did this for 13 years. Loved it. I knew every customer.
What
by
were the
name.
years of that, John?
1983 through 95.
Okay.
I'll be shopping at Christmas. Customer would be like, Johnny, and I'd be like, hey, rigatoni bolognese. How you doing? I just knew what they ordered. No, so I loved it. And I always said the restaurant business is the greatest MBA. You're going to learn more about business, interact with people on a daily basis, especially when you're a product based like a restaurant.
But John, you made a comment about first impressions, and it seems to me anyway that you live that every day.
You have to.
in what you do, right?
You have to. I
life,
preach it to my staff.
yeah, every day.
Yeah. Our philosophy here is be good, do good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we can't solve a problem, just do it on the high road.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't be confrontational. And at the restaurant, you have to earn your customers back. It's not an entitlement.
Their trust, you gotta earn their
You have to earn it
trust.
back.
The importance of that, even when you're not in the customer-based business, when you're just interacting with others, do your best.
Oh, you have
Right?
to.
Best foot forward, always.
Yeah. You want to be the call they want to take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I learned so much from the restaurant. It's unbelievable.
Well, and I was thinking too, all from your restaurant years, the connections. I think of your wine prowess, which painfully you're knighted now, but your wine prowess, the relationships you built with meat providers, and ad nauseum. Folks I don't even know or understand, but what I see, it all kind of probably started then.
Oh, it's so funny. So the restaurant, our prices were $1.99 to $5.99, right?
Yeah.
All homemade fresh pasta.
I think inflation hit, John.
But I had incredible wines, right? You're ordering fusilli with pesto for $2.99. You have Kistler on the wine list at cost, right? And what I used to do then.
What time do you open?
Everyone knows our good friend Chris Benson, C.D. Hannigan's. He had this motorhome. So once a month, I say, Chris, let's grab the motorhome. I invite my 8 favorite customers. And back then in Napa, there's less than 50 wineries. So I used to, instead of ordering through a distributor, I couldn't afford the minimums because I was a little small shop. I will call Gergish. I'll call Silver Oak. Say, hey, I'm going to bring 8 customers, but I'm going to pick up my wine. How many are working? I'll bring lunch for everybody today. And so I used to go to Silver Oak. I used to go to Gergish. I used to go to Camus. I used to go to Sonoma Cutrer.
And you bring the goods.
I bring lunch for everybody working in the winery.
Of course you did.
Just to pick up my wine, but then everyone gets their tastings. And my favorite story was Justin Meyer, legendary Silver Oak founder, winemaker. And he calls, John, I see you're coming up next week with your clients. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you're going to bring that mocha pecan torte. I said, actually, Lisa, your staff says you're diabetic. You can't bring it. And he says, it's not what I asked. So that was a great wine education for me.
Well, it seemed as important through that experience too. You got on these wine lists that fast forward, nobody can get on anymore. Right. And you were there, first and foremost, a few bottles or a case at a time type thing, as much as you could. And that's paid forward now to all the people you share the wine with. We thank you. But also, it's amazing how the dominoes fall.
It's so funny
even
because
in Plan B.
It's so funny because people are impressed with certain wines, certain brands. Mm-hmm. I got caught up in that, right? When you're a wine grower and a winemaker, I want to believe there is no bad wine. Mm-hmm. It's a little different. I know the whole process there. There's wines that are better, but there's no bad wine. For the record.
For the record. Yeah. Even Franzia, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
John, what about starting your own family? We've talked a little bit about the family from which you hail. What about you referred to meeting Deb early on in life? Did you fall in love with her the day you met her?
Look at like you and
She's
Linda,
listening, so you make
you
sure.
And Sue. Deb and I have been together since high school. She was a sophomore.
Yeah.
I was a senior.
Yeah.
So we've been together since 1980.
Who fell first, you or she?
Oh, she chased me down.
Oh, she did.
I gave up.
I see.
She chased me down, asked me to Sadie Hawkins, and we've been together since April 11, 1980.
Good for you, Deb. Yep. You got a good one. You got a good one.
Oh, yeah. She tells herself every day.
And then you started
She's got a peach.
And then you started the journey. But you don't have 6 kids as your folks did. You've got a beautiful daughter.
No, luckiest guy in the world. Look, she had to go through medical school, residency, fellowship, specialized training. It took her 13 years. We were married that whole time. So we just waited till she was settled. And hey, I got myself a little Deb, our daughter, Coco.
How old is Coco now?
She's going to be 26, April
26.
30th. Yeah.
And she's the mother of 2.
Yep. My 2 grandsons, Bo is 6 months and Cash money.
Oh, and Cash is
2.5.
Talk about a chip off the old grandfather block. Holy moly.
It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're living down closer to them now?
Yeah. People don't realize I commute 477 miles every week.
477
I'm
miles
here
every week.
every Monday. I
Yeah.
go home Thursday nights or Friday morning. So we live in Temecula. It's because my wife retired, and that's where my daughter is.
Mhm.
My wife's family is from that area. So her father was Ontario for 30 years, where he passed, and her stepmom's there. So we've been going there since 1980.
Yeah.
So we know the area well. That's where our daughter settled there in 2020, bought a home where they're raising their family. And so my wife's retired.
Well, she's retired from a professional paying job, but she's a wonderfully happy grandmother.
Incredible happy grandmother, and she's a master of the vineyard. Let me tell you,
Is she?
absolutely,
Which doesn't take me by
amazing.
surprise at all, because she is so serious about that as well.
But she was a molecular biology major. I can't even spell it, let alone say it. So in winemaking, there's so much chemistry.
Sure.
So she has that dialed.
Yeah. I love the story too. Coco, is heading move down to Corona, right?
Like Canyon Lake.
Oh, Canyon Lake. Okay. Near Corona. So you and Deb go down to move her in. That weekend, while you're moving her in, well, I guess this is where we're going to live. And you go out on a hunt and stumble in the last hour on what is a beautiful spot. And I mean, who does that? Who moves their daughter in? You're just this myopic notion that we're never going to live far away from our daughter, and good things happen, right? Whether it's plan A, B, C, or D, they've all come together.
It's another plan B. Our whole life, Deb and I, since 40 plus years in, was retiring to Sonoma.
Yeah.
We have a great circle of friends, wine friends that we've been with over the years, helping with their wines. And that was the plan, literally since 1988. Yeah. And my daughter's there, and she made it very clear, if you want to see your daughter and grandbabies, this is where we live.
Mm-hmm.
And we moved her in and bought a home on the drive home.
How about that?
Yeah.
Was there a connection for Coco? Was it her husband's family in Southern Cal?
Yeah. She fell in love as a freshman. She went to UOP, University of Pacific, but fell in love with him her freshman year. And once she graduated, she says, look, I'm moving down to Southern Cal, and Christian I couldn't be happier with a son-in-law. So, so that was destined. We knew it. But the good news is it's from where Deb's family is.
Yeah. John, you lost your dad. Your mom still lives. She spent some time with you and spent some time with your local sisters.
Spent some time with me. She lives with me.
Full time now.
Full time.
That's time well spent.
For a period of time, was sharing time with you. What experience? How did you navigate that difficult time with your dad?
Well, look, if you're going to tell me he was going to live to 85 after multiple heart surgeries, multiple back surgeries, I said, I'd take it in a minute.
Yeah.
His father died at 75. His mother died before 80. My mother's mother died at 52. Her father died at 68.
So 85 was
my father lived to 85.
Yeah.
He had a great life.
Yeah. And a wonderful wife.
Great life. Passed on his birthday after a big birthday party.
How about that?
Yeah. So, it's always hard. We all experienced it.
Yeah.
But you can mourn or you can live the legacy. And I just choose to live the legacy. And my parents have lived with me since 2006. We were fortunate to have a property where we had a home for them. So it's just how you evolve, how you live that legacy, which keeps the spirit. And you just can't mourn. You just got to move forward.
How's your mom?
It's great. She, like I said, she lives with us. I bring her to NorCal twice.
And she runs a Cucciadati day.
Oh, does she ever?
The queen.
Yes.
Overlooking everyone.
Yeah, her rent is to keep my biscotti jar full. Pretty simple process.
She does a good job with that.
Yeah.
She's as sweet as sweet comes, from an outside perspective, getting to know her to the extent I have.
I like to say I raised her well.
Yeah. She loves her Johnny.
I'm second fiddle to PQ, let me tell you.
Of course you are.
Second fiddle.
Aren't we all?
Oh, I love Patrick. Patrick.
I still have, when she called me and sung happy birthday, I keep that on my voicemail.
You would have had another one, but your voicemail was full the other day.
Well, it's because it was full of her singing me happy birthday, 6 years ago.
John, pivoting back to San Jose State, Patrick mentioned you became the coach of the soccer team.
So I had, it's funny, I had a career at the restaurant 13 years. Between lunch and dinner was my slow time. I had the same menu 11 to 9. So I had a shift from a lunch to dinner. So San Jose State's coach, Julie Menendez, who recruited me to State, when I couldn't play, first of all, I wasn't too happy, but he told me to stay involved in the game to get into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And he was terrific. Julie was the first man to coach 2 different USA Olympic teams, boxing, Cassius Clay, 60 Rome Olympics, where the USA boxing training camp was San Jose State.
Big deal.
And then he coached soccer. And he coached USA team, the national Olympic team in 76. He's just a great man. So he's the one that convinced me you need to stay involved and get into coaching. So at the restaurant from 11 to 9, I had a chance to take a break 2 to 4. So started coaching my high school and the success of the high school. By the way, Pat, we won 3 CCS titles, including one with Bellarmine. We had a shared title, a 1-1 draw.
Bellarmine must not have shown up that day.
They showed up well, but so did the Mustangs.
Yeah, nice.
But then from that, I was into club soccer, and we're fortunate to win state titles, regional, and then won the national title. So from there, got selected for U.S. soccer, where I coached with the Olympic development program on the girls' side for 4 years. So from that, when San Jose State was starting a women's program, they realized, the coach said, look, on the men's side, you guys have to pursue John and Philippe. John was here. He played for Julie. My daughter plays for him. So we ended up in July getting offered the San Jose State job. And so I figured I had a chance to finish my degree. So we sold the restaurant. Started in July for a season that started in August. Yeah. By the way, I went 10-6 that first year.
A lot of prep time.
Yeah. So I hated to close the restaurant, but I never had a chance to finish my degree.
Mm-hmm.
And Deb
that was important to you.
It was. Deb finished. We're so fortunate. She was San Jose State and got accepted into UC San Francisco, which is the premier medical school in the country, right? So we didn't have to move. So I commuted the restaurant from San Francisco to San Jose for 4 years. I did it by train, and then when she finished UC San Francisco, there was a number of residency programs, and she got selected by Kaiser Santa Clara.
That's amazing.
So we didn't have to move. As fate would have it. Yeah. So we didn't have to sell the restaurant. But when she ended up at Santa Clara Kaiser and she finished her 4 years of residency, then they offered her a job. So that's what I figured, now I can sell the restaurant. She's done with school. I can go back and finish and have the opportunity. So I coached for 5 years because it took me 5 years to get my degree, because I'm coaching full time at San Jose State Club and U.S. Soccer, and very little time. So, 1 class a semester just to finish up where I left off. Mm-hmm. And
John, with that background in soccer, how important and meaningful is a World Cup in the U.S. and particularly it's here, in the Bay Area?
Oh, I grew up a soccer fan. I remember my dad take me. This is how far the World Cup has evolved. It was closed circuit, 1970, Civic Auditorium, to watch Brazil beat the pants off Italy. But back then it was closed circuit. Think about it.
Yeah.
So I remember my dad taking me to watch the World Cup in 1970. Wow. And so I was hooked. I followed every World Cup. This is my 3rd World Cup that I'm going to work. I worked the 94 men's with the games at Stanford. And then obviously I worked the 99 FIFA Women's World Cup as the assistant venue manager of Spartan Stadium. I managed a base camp for China. It went all the way to the final.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. And it's all credit due to the San Jose earthquakes,
mm-hmm.
right? They established their roots here in 74 and they're still here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the earthquakes, we're not a soccer community. So I've been an earthquake fan since 74, and that's the key.
Boy, how many do you think there are of 74 fans?
There's plenty. They used to average, they led the league like 16, 17,000 fans a game.
Okay.
Yeah, the Quakes in the 70s was the thing.
It's affordable entertainment, generally speaking, contrasted to some options, right? Go watch the 49ers and you're going to come out of pocket a lot of dough.
Yeah. So, just great memories going to earthquake games 74 through 80 back when it was the North American Soccer League. And that's what planted the seed for the World Cup.
What led to Patrick introduced you as the executive director of the San Jose Sports Authority? What led to that opportunity?
I've been involved with the Sports Authority since 1998. So when I was at San Jose State coaching the soccer program, I met with our AD and I said, look, why don't we put a bid to host the soccer national championships? Look, I'm already on the Women's World Cup planning committee for 99. It's not rocket science here. We're going to follow their coattails, right? So we already have a plan. So he says, well, We don't do that. You have to meet with the sports authority at the time, Dean Monroe.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Yeah. So I met with Dean Monroe and he said, well, let's write a bid. And we wrote a bid in 98, won the bid. And so I was a tournament manager for the 99 and 2000 NCAA Women's College Cup. By the way, we still hold the NCAA attendance records to this day.
Is that right?
14,000 a game. Yeah. But so I was involved with the sports authority then. And we had a 2-year run with the championships 99 and 2000. And when that concluded, the Sports Authority had a youth program. It was called the Inner City Games, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Youth Foundation. So I got my degree, and that coaching run was 5 years. It was a great run. We're 54, 43, and 6, by the way.
Nice. Well done.
Yes, yes.
You are good with numbers.
And, it was an opportunity I never forget. I got offered 2 head coaching jobs at a college in Washington and another university in Southern Cal. My wife just finished all of her residency, all of her training. We just had her daughter. She's a year and a half. My wife says, if you go to this school, it's going to be tough because you're in a powerhouse conference. If you go to this school, you'll probably do more fundraising than coaching, but whatever you choose, your daughter and I will miss you. So transition out of coaching.
Boy, how smart she is.
Yeah. And
She's very nuanced.
Sports Authority convinced me to join them. They got a license for Arnold Schwarzenegger's Youth Foundation, and that was the Inner City Games. And I was tasked with to create a scalable and sustainable after-school model.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I joined the Inner City Games, which became the after-school All-Stars.
Yeah, it was just tremendous. Tell us about the interaction with the then governor.
No, he was an actor.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
His first 5 years, he was an actor.
Okay.
But he was amazing. The man's vision is incredible. So what he wanted us to do in the after-school setting between San Jose, San Diego, and LA is create a K through 5 that feeds a 6 through 8 in low-income Title I schools. And create an after-school program that had measurable components, but really put everything in the programs that the schools cut out: sports, theater, right? And so I had a firm belief that kids come for the program, but they stay because of the staff, right? Build that relationship. So we built a model that we had to scale. And based on what we did in San Jose, LA, and San Diego, we created a proposition. We did an initiative with the signatures to create after-school program for the state of California for the 5,500 schools that did K through 8. It was called Proposition 49. And so we got it on the ballot and it passed. Now, it was going to fund after-school programs in California, $550 million annually.
Mm-hmm.
That was based on our work in San Jose and my colleagues in San Diego and LA. And we spent 3 years doing this, self-funding our program sites. And 3 years later, Arnold's in the governor's chair and a surplus happened. And to this day now, California K through 8 are funded through ACEs, after-school education and safety. $550 million a year for a program that started in our after-school program.
Isn't that amazing?
It is beyond.
What a profound impact you have had without really perhaps thinking of that compounding impact to young people.
No, it's, I was so fortunate. I had 11 other directors of after-school programs throughout the state. And the collaborative work we did because of the staff was amazing. And we kept telling people the funding is going to come. And now
sounds like the bullet train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so much better.
Yeah. So no, it was great. I look back at it. It was just incredible because you had an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah, so-
legacy impact.
Yeah. That was 8 years of trying to build the model, then make it scalable. And then the biggest challenge, make it sustainable.
Right.
Because of Proposition 49, the ACEs, now it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been going since 06.
So now in your role as executive director of the San Jose Sports Authority, give us a thumbnail sketch on what the Sports Authority is required to do and continues to do well, and other things that it needs to improve.
Well, obviously, improve the podcast studio is number one priority now.
Yeah. Sweatbox. That's all right.
No, the Sports Authority, we're a nonprofit, first of all. We're not an agency of the city. We're a nonprofit. So the city had the vision to build an arena. Remember, that wasn't an easy thing to do.
Yep.
I think it was 51% to 49%.
That's right. Very close.
And the great champion, obviously, besides Mayor Hammer, was Mark Purdy, right? Just pushing this, through his columns. But once the arena was built, the city realized they have to create two entities.
Was it Hammer or McHenry?
Well, I'm sure it was both.
Yeah.
But they had to create two entities, one to manage the building, which is the San Jose Arena Authority, And then they need another one to fill the building.
Yeah.
And that's how the Sports Authority was started. And so we saw that symbiotic relationship with the Arena Authority, but our job is to make San Jose a premier destination for sports on the West Coast. We're not Vegas. We're not New York. So we understand the type of events we can bring in. But let me tell you, it's amazing because what makes San Jose such a great sports destination city? No city can match the diversity we offer, the cultural diversity we have. And how many think about it? How many times can you land in an airport? Across the street is your Major League Soccer stadium. 10 minutes up the road is your NFL stadium. Or in 10 minutes, you're in downtown sitting in your hotel and you walk to the arena.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's our compact footprint that makes San Jose ideal.
What are the challenges then? That's the positive. What's the challenge?
The biggest challenge is, we don't have the hotel inventory in downtown.
Yeah.
We have 3,600 rooms. We have no 4-star hotels. We have no 5-star hotels. San Jose was built as a business hotel destination, right? For the tech sector, convention center. Our convention center is too small. For the Super Bowl, my biggest focus was to have opening night here. And the reason why, the biggest gem of the Super Bowl is not the game, it's the actual fan experience. But you need a 1 million square foot convention center. We're 450,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Does that include the tent?
We're 450,000 feet.
Plus a tent.
Only 150,000 is continuous space.
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl, just think about this. The fan experience brings in 25 to 30,000 fans a day for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I realize we're not going to have that, but we have the game on Sunday. How do I get opening night so I have the first and last event of Super Bowl week? So that was the focus because we don't have the hotel infrastructure. We only have 3,600 rooms. Nashville has 32,000 rooms downtown. We have 3,600. And we don't have a convention center big enough. We need to be a minimum 850,000 square foot continuous space convention center.
And that ain't going to happen.
So not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Sure.
Not yet. So that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Is it's just, and then obviously everything's so expensive here. Our hotels are more. Our labor is higher. So, but we can offset that by what we do have and what we do well.
Quick roll call of the events you have upcoming and ones you're most proudest of. Recent history or going back a few years.
Well, the World Cup planning started in 2016. I've been out. It's been 10 years I've been working on this.
I don't think the people really fully appreciate the investment of time, effort, money.
Yeah, Al Guido had the vision with Levi Stadium.
Travel.
So Al put together a bid team, which was led by Patricia Ernstrom, who was my predecessor. And we started the bid process in 2016. We submitted the bid in 2020.
For 2026.
Yeah. We were selected in 2022. Then once we're selected, now the planning starts. And it's been nonstop. So just FIFA World Cup's a 10-year process. Now, as far as this year, with Mayor Mahan, I met with him in 2023. I said, look, 2026 planning starts now, not in 26. And so he was on board from day one. And we put together our, what I call the SJ26 plan. Our initiative started in 2023. So we've been planning this now for the last 3 years, and I'm just proud of the momentum it's gained. And we started in November of 25 with the NWSL championships. We sold out, PayPal 18,000, nationally televised, 4 days of events in downtown San Jose, which was a terrific kickoff. Then we followed that with the Super Bowl. Have an opening night right here in downtown San Jose. Super Bowl champion Seahawks staying at the Marriott, practicing at San Jose State. And then we did a fan fest. We drew 48,000 people over 3 days at San Pedro Square. We did 2 concerts. First time I ever went in the concert business. Don't recommend it. We sold out our concerts in less than 30 minutes. I had Kalani, who won 2 Grammys, East Bay pop sensation from Oakland. And then Dom Dalla drew 20,000.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. And then, that whole week of the Super Bowl, we drew almost 490,000 people to downtown San Jose from opening night to Super Bowl night.
I'm not sure people fully appreciate the impact sports has on a community. When we think about the San Jose Sharks, certainly the Earthquakes, as you say, been around a long, long time. We now have a women's hockey league coming, or the women's hockey league coming to San Jose. We had a chance, we thought, to try to get a baseball team, 2010, 12, give or take, under Mayor Reed's leadership, and Bud Selig at the time, and fraternity roommates, I think, or maybe fraternity brothers
With Lou Wolf,
with Lou Wolf. There you go. Yeah, that's right.
another great San Jose
Yeah,
champion.
another great for sure. So, with respect to baseball, which we'd all like to think it could happen. I think there's moves afoot to, envision the city having another major league sports franchise. We're 12th or 13th largest in the country, but we don't have what we should have.
Well,
some would argue.
Yeah, the opportunity was there. That's
The
the bottom
opportunity
line.
was there.
Right now, if you're looking at Major League Baseball, they are going to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the expansion price they're talking right now is $4 billion.
With a B.
$4 billion is going to be the starting. So they already announced there's going to be expansion. So it's it's a major capital project.
Yep.
That's $4 billion is a rumor. So the cities who are going to bid are going to make sure they exceed that. They want their bid to be. So we've been down that avenue. The biggest thing now is, first of all, you mentioned the Sharks. That's the biggest game changer to San Jose.
Sure.
You look what the SAP Center has done, what they draw. And you can't look at the performance of the team. You got to look at the performance of the building.
That's right.
How it impacts downtown San Jose, right? So it's
you just have to look to the strike here to see the impact it had. Just that one strike here, how many restaurants we lost, how many bars.
COVID. Look at COVID when they had to shut down the building, right? So that's the biggest economic engine downtown San Jose. So what we've been working on the past 2 years is how do we create a sports entertainment district around the SAP Center? We started with a project called Stitching a District, Councilmember Mulcahy, everybody's favorite. Where we stitched District 3 to District 6.
Yep.
So with the rezoning of the districts, now the SAP Center is now District 6. So we connected San Pedro Square to the SAP Center via Sharks Way. It used to be St. John's. That's just the first step in the process, is how do we create an entertainment zone of retail, theater, restaurant, and sporting venues.
Yeah, and you see a lot of that with the major cities that have facilities to accommodate their hockey teams or otherwise, right? That collection of other activity, whereas San Jose up to this point, maybe short of the past year or so, comes and goes.
Well, and we've seen that historically, and I applaud the current effort to combine those issues. You only have to look to San Jose State to understand that the city of San Jose has not done a great job historically in collaborating with its greatest assets, right? It wasn't until the Martin Luther King Library Project came to fruition that was the first collaboration between the city of San Jose officially and San Jose State University, right?
They're foreign actors somewhat.
Lee and Diane Bradberg were a huge part of that fundraising effort. And that was, when I had heard that was the first time, I kind of go, oh, yeah, because what else is there? Yeah. But that was shocking, right? And there hasn't been a lot of other examples since, quite frankly, but it sounds like the atmosphere is there to start putting together the dots.
What we did is that the Chamber of Commerce, which Bill knows all too well, do study trips to study other municipalities and how they do their public-private partnerships and working within the city. And to their credit, my focus is, let's look at apples to apples. We need to see cities that are like us in the sporting component. So the last 3 years have been study trips, LA Live, is how they integrate their sports entertainment district with their buildings and arenas. We've gone to Phoenix. We're a similar city, right? Where our downtown doesn't have the football stadium, it's down the way, right? And we just went to Atlanta to study the Battery.
Yeah.
So we have a great working group studying the feasibility of making a sports entertainment district. Imagine if Santana Row was attached to the SAP Center.
Yeah.
That's what these other cities have.
Right.
So that's what we have to look to create, is just a vibrancy, economic driven center between stadiums.
Well, there was a potential of that, right, with the Google Downtown San Jose West. That was going to be a component.
Yeah.
So do you think that iteration gets reborn, irrespective of Google's involvement or not, with the property that they now own around there? Is there other property, other interests that can help create that vision?
It's happening now. That's all I would say. Google's been a great partner in our talks. Jonathan Becker is amazing, president of the Sharks. The mayor and his team, right? And the chamber is heavily, heavily involved now. And how do we take that Google West? Let's see if we can do something together.
It seems like it so many times in San Jose's history, that we were at the doorstep of a tremendous opportunity that just didn't materialize quite the way it might have been envisioned. I sure hope that this is an opportunity that
we see it through.
Bring together and see it through. I mean, there's some things that are in our control and some things not, but we can do a pretty good job of getting ourselves in the way of getting what we want to accomplish.
I'm happy to add you two to the committee.
Well, that's the end of the interview, John.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming by. Get off our chair.
Yeah, that's great.
But anyway, good insight, and we'll hope that keeps rolling.
PQ mentioned that you were knighted.
This is true.
This is true. No, it's a Northern Italy wine society. The study of the wines from Piemonte, the Barolo grape mainly, Barbaresco Barolos have always been a fascination for me. Nebbiolo Italian is fog. So they grow these grapes in this incredible fog atmosphere of Northern Italy and Piemonte.
And so when someone who's bottled red wine said Nebbiolo, it would be grown in a more foggy, or is that?
Well, it's in Piemonte where the fog settles.
Okay.
And
don't you know?
In order to grow wine, you have to have diurnal zone. So you have to have basically a 30-degree swing, and which Italy has, and which Napa and Sonoma has spectacular. The whole Central Coast, right? And even in the ocean cools off. So Nebbiolo, I'm a great fan of the wine. It's hard to win people over. You have to be patient with Nebbiolo, like sitting with you two. But I just love the wine. Yeah, so I end up being.
Believe me, I've had a 30-degree swing just in this interview.
I can see it.
So you can call me Sir John, okay?
Gladly. So, we're on the wine topic again. Tell us about the grapes that you do curate and grow down in Temecula, and some of the recent successes you've seen with those efforts.
No, it's the greatest experience. So we're fortunate to have 3 acres of vineyard, and my wife and I do all the farming, the entire thing. And we took over a neglected vineyard. So the first year, we didn't sell any fruit.
Neglected no more, ladies and gentlemen.
Neglected no more. Let me tell you, it's
sweat equity in that bad boy.
Yeah. I mean, what you put in is what you get out. The best advice I ever got, and I talked to this arborist who makes my compost for me. There's a blend I want for my compost.
Of course.
And I asked him, now what's the best fertilizer supplement? He goes, simple. It's all your shadow. In other words, walk the vineyard every day. You're going to see with your eyes what needs to be done. And then Joe Rocchioli had the phenomenal Rocchioli estates up in Sonoma, some of the best Pinot Chardonnay in the world. And I asked him about leaf pulling, little things, the nuances when you walk a vineyard about leaf pulling is making sure you have a canopy. I say it's the old Oklahoma mullet. That's what you want your vines to look at. Heavy on the top with leaves, then thin in the middle. You want air to get through, but you want heavy in the bottom so you have shade for the grapes so they're not sunburned, right? And it's stuff you don't know unless you walk a vineyard. And I remember Mr. Rocchioli, he passed, but it's just an icon. Told me about leaf pulling and how he doesn't have machines. He looks to see what leaves have to be pulled for the right shade for the right grapes. So it's the bottom line is just it's walking your vineyard, learning your vineyard, knowing your vines. We have almost 1,800 vines in our vineyards. And
what does that produce, John?
Well, we have 2 acres of Vermentino, and we have 1 acre Sangiovese, and it produces a ton of sweat and backache. There's not
for
a
the
level
rest of us to enjoy, John. What does it produce?
There is not a level spot in that vineyard. Let me tell you. We even have
the bocce court.
Except for the bocce court's in the middle of the Vermentino vineyard.
Naturally.
We even have Dumbass Hill because I can't get a tractor up there, and I got to do all the farming by foot. My goodness, but
Deb sits in the chair and says,
yeah,
there he is up on the hill.
So it's awesome. I'm only home Friday, Saturday, Sundays. And so the whole weekends, prepare a monthly checklist of what has to be done in the vineyard.
These are truly have to do's, not want
have to do
necessarily.
Yeah. And so I have a monthly checklist I've been doing for the last 6 years, what I've learned from my friends. And before they're pointing at me what to do, now I got to be the one who points. So it's pretty cool. But as long as you're up on your checklist, I can get everything done on the weekend and I'm good. Otherwise, it's spread out. But the Vermentino is just amazing.
Just recently won a gold medal. Yeah.
Our first international competition, we got selected to enter the Consortium of Vermentino in Gallura, Sardinia, Italy, where Vermentino is from, the holy grail of Vermentino. 382 wines were qualified to enter. You had to qualify to enter.
And what was that process to qualify?
It's the whole soil study, your history of the farming, the clone of your Vermentino. You had to be 85% Vermentino in your bottling, your fermentation process. And so all of that, we had to create a video and submit. And then once they select you, they have 382 entries. Only 130 are going to receive medals. And we received a gold. We got a 92, which were ecstatic. This is just May 25th. We got the announcement.
Thank you so much for not bringing bottles.
Yeah, we noticed you were a little bereft in that.
We got some lousy pasta, but
It's amazing.
That'll be episode 2 with John.
Yeah. We had the best winemaker at Nadia with Duffel Wines, and we're 100% sole source.
Right?
Yeah, it's the evolution of what it was 6 years to what it is now is pretty spectacular.
And you've been with Duffel since day one.
You're the only one I grow for.
Yeah.
Sandra, I'll grow for another winery because I know the family well, and that's a blend in theirs. But our Vermentino Duffel is 100% Deb and I.
Yeah.
We do everything, all the farming, all the grafting.
A great source
everything.
of satisfaction.
It's awesome. It's pretty amazing, pretty humbling.
So all the, we talking work that you've done your entire life, and
it's all pleasure with this man.
But
it's all pleasure.
I want to know about the big R, retirement, and because I think you're even going to work harder because there are going to be more fun things for you to do and engage with. That you're not going to slow down. In fact, you're geared up, but you'll be mostly geographically centered. Right at the vineyard and where your family is at grandkids. So tell us about a little bit that's appropriate to you, what retirement's going to look like.
Well, the number one thing about retirement is succession. What is your succession plan? Right? Otherwise, it's a house of cards. That can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
What we built here as an organization, and we have too many events on the schedule. So, when I get through 2026 and that conversation can happen. But look, we have the FIFA World Cup starting in just a week. 39 days, 104 matches. We're doing in downtown San Jose free, right? In partnership with the Earthquakes, Area Host Committee.
Just a phenomenal.
Well, then we have the USA Table Tennis Nationals, July 3 through 9. You say table tennis. Well, you look at the Olympic Games, last games in Paris. Table tennis has 4 athletes for USA. 3 are from the South Bay. So we're the table tennis mecca here. So I felt we owed it to the community to bring that championship here. We did. Yeah. Well, at the end of the month, we have CrossFit. The World Championship of Fitness.
CU's participating in that.
Yes.
They carry around on a cross, right?
That's July 20 through 26. And then
1, 2, 3, right?
August 1st and 2nd, we have Slam Jose, our 3-on-3 basketball tournament downtown. We'll have 200-300 teams.
200 or 300 teams.
Yes. 3-on-3 basketball right downtown on Mark Street in front of the plaza.
Okay. Cool.
All outdoor. And then, George Riley plays in that, right? Our dear buddy. And then if
There's
you look
into
division,
then.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you look into October, we have the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. We'll have 10 to 15,000 runners. And then if you look in November, we have the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame. So right now my focus is just let's get through these events.
Yeah. I knew that would be your answer, but
I haven't been fired yet. So.
No. What about your board? Your board of the San Jose Sports Authority you work for?
Yep.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
Engaged board. You like to work with them. Good people. Community-based, community-rooted. Care about what's happening.
Yeah. The tenets for me, I've been doing nonprofit work now 35 years in San Jose. Whether it was Spartan Foundation, right? The After School All-Stars, and the Sports Authority. The key is the tenets is you build the board with doers, donors, and door openers. You're never going to have enough donors, but you got to balance your door openers because you want to be the call they want to take. So who's going to open that door? So I'm very, very strategic in building a board because unfortunately I work them like a mule, but they have a role to play.
Yeah, but they that's the one negative perhaps that there's so many boards of nonprofits that aren't functional, particularly for smaller nonprofits. Let's face it, the board gets filled with folks who choose to serve, quote unquote, but really not do, right? Resume build, but not do. It's the 80-20 rule, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's good to know that your board is 100% in because it's strategic by way of how you have navigated.
Yeah. You can't have a trophy board, period. And like I said, doer, donor, door opener. It's funny you mentioned. I got a text yesterday morning of a picture of my board with Arnold from 2003, 23 years ago. And my board chair now, Charlie Foss,
Good man.
was my board chair then.
Is that right?
After School All-Stars. He sent that, 8 board members copied from that picture, 2003, all 8 replied instantaneously.
Yeah.
So it shows you the connection, and it has to be mission driven.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest challenge. And look, it's different now, 2026, than nonprofits were in 2001, right? I mean, technology. And the biggest challenge I find now is how do you communicate messaging? We didn't have Instagram, right? We relied on the newspaper and PSAs.
Yeah.
Well, those are gone.
That's right.
Right. So that's the biggest challenge when you build a board now is they got to help you on networking and messaging that meets this new era of delivery.
Excellent point. Expand a little bit of Charlie Foss. Such a great relationship. I've got to know Charlie through you over the last decade or better. And also Sir Charles is what I call him. Also a wine aficionado and well-versed. But talk about that consistency of friendship and work relationship that has produced so much, actually.
Yeah, Charlie was after school all-stars when they convinced me to leave San Jose State from coaching to join the sports authority to run the after school program. Charlie was the chair. And you go full circle, he's chair of the San Jose Sports Authority. He's been on the Sports Authority board for 30 years. Matter of fact, he retires from the Sports Authority June 30th, 2026. The last 15 years as chair, and they've had a great history of chairs. You remember Gary Filizetti?
Oh, sure.
Greg Jameson,
Yeah.
right? And
Great
then Charlie Foss. Those are the 3 chairs of the Sports Authority. Think about that. 3 civic-minded.
Legendary.
Yeah,
Right.
and Charlie's background, which he came from Big Blue, right? IBM from the East Coast, and
Right.
was transferred to San Jose. And was smart, married a San Jose State woman. But
Didn't we all?
yeah. So, Charlie had the tech background. And then from there, he transitioned to the San Jose Sharks, where he was their CFO for 10 years. And it was a game changer of what he brought to the organization. But he's so civically grounded, right? He served on the planning commission. He served on the parking commission for the city. Was on the Bellarmine's Dad's Club, as his son was at Bellarmine, right? He was the after-school chair. Sports Authority chair. Think about that. He became the voice of San Jose from a common sense perspective. And you talk about university city partnerships. So he did the second one. When the Fairmount was struggling, he orchestrated San Jose State buying the tower. But now it's student housing.
Yeah.
So that's another city university project.
Yeah.
Because then he was CFO at San Jose State. And that was because of his mentor, Don Cassing, who was another great Spartan. Great civic leader, former president of the university. He served on a sports authority board with Charlie, and he really became a mentor for Charlie. And that's how Charlie really kept his civic engagement.
John, friendship, something that is just a cornerstone of your life. There are acquaintances, there are friends, and then there's dear friends, right? That you'd lay your life down for. I'm not asking you to name me as one of those, but
ones you'd bring Vermentino to.
but the meaning of friendship to you, just as a life core value, what do you attribute to that?
No,
because you have so many.
I just learned there's no strangers. There's just friends you haven't met, right? And you just got to accept people for who they are. Now, if you have like-minded, that's bond for life. Never going to fight about things. If we don't agree, it's the way it is. But it's really just folks who are like-minded. And to me, you have to be civic-minded. I've told my daughter since she can stand up, 2 words: be good and do good. That's how I say I want you to live your life. Just be good and do good.
Yeah,
and
it's a simple message, isn't it?
It is. I mean, look, if someone's not on the same page as you, you know what? Their problem, their punishment, they don't get to be in your circle of friends. You don't have to be mean. Just move on. Just be good and do good. That's just simple. Just the only way to live.
But then you can be acquaintances and friendly acquaintances, right? We have in today's society, it seems, such a dichotomy of relationships where people seem to get so angry at times for perhaps all the right reasons, and I think probably more so for the wrong reasons. It'd be nice to tone it all down and just be friendly with one another as a baseline. There's been lots of talk about this Silicon Valley Steakmaster organization.
Well, people are talking.
I see, yeah. What was the old guy, Ross?
McGowan?
John, I see you're wearing a lapel pin. It's got SVSM on it. You're a big guy with friendship. We talk a lot about friendship. Tell the audience a little bit about SVSM.
As if they already don't know, Bill.
Well, our two audience members, come on.
Silicon Valley Steakmasters. Look, we're all part of a fraternal Greek system, right?
In life.
So you think about your fraternity brothers. Maybe you didn't think about them, but what do they mean to you now, right? They're brothers. Silicon Valley Steakmasters is really a business brotherhood, and it's 10 incredibly civic-minded, San Jose-based men that get together once a quarter. All incredibly busy businessmen get together once a quarter, and it's getting together at a steakhouse. And the main point is to review steakhouses to see if it's a perfect setup for business meetings, as well as promoting local establishments. And so we do this in pairs. There's two steak masters. Ron Z and myself, Chef Boyardee, are one pair where we select the restaurant and we rotate every quarter. And it's the best. A, you get to see different restaurants. B, you create that brotherhood feeling that you have. And then C, most important, is that we leave business on the side and just have a jovial time of food and wine and friendship. What in the world's better than that?
Agreed, John. And our usual banter includes a round table, going around the table and getting caught up with what's happening in everybody's lives. And we've been doing this long enough that we've gone through all the life cycles, unfortunately, good and bad, right? And so it's nice to be able to be there for our fellow steak masters at those tough times, but also celebrate all the fun stuff that we get to do as well.
And 100%. And here's the thing, we're all too busy. So be able to stop the clock once a quarter.
Preston's not that busy.
Oh my God. But we have a chairman that just makes sure that, but that's what's most invaluable, is that you have to prioritize. What's one of your priorities in life is living a good life, is being with people, being with people you want to be. To me, that's the best value of the Steak Masters. I get to see these guys once a quarter and the clock stops.
And as Patrick was inferring, both, and John, both Pat and I are also members of the SVSM. There was one dinner in particular, and I won't mention the Steak Master, but to echo Pat's comment about sort of the moment when we get to chat a little bit more deeply about family, where that particular Steak Master broke down, right? He had a certain event going on in his life that we try to share, we try to get unvarnished. And I'll tell you what, that was a very powerful moment.
Yeah.
When you can get that vulnerable amongst friends. And that's when you really know that it's a deep friendship, that there's confidence amongst us, that you can feel so comfortable in sharing that. And I think we're just blessed to have that sort of friendship.
The thing is, it's a great sounding board.
Yeah.
Here's a 10 individual that live in the same life we're living.
John, you have encountered so many in your life, short of your parents, who for all of us parents are so impactful. Who might have made the biggest impression on you in your life?
I was fortunate as an athlete and played at almost every level and coached at almost every level of having great coaches. Folks who didn't do it for themselves. They were all about how to make you better. I go to middle school. My God, George Aroldi, Glenn Ventura at John Muir has such an impact on me as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. But in high school, they came to watch my games. In college, they came to watch my games, right? When I was coaching, they watched it. These are folks, I was a 12-year-old, right? Jerry Smith at Santa Clara really was the eye-opening moment for me as a coach, where he put it into perspective of teach your players to coach themselves. You can't orchestrate every single move, right? That was a huge life lesson for me. I lost the biggest game I can ever win. We won the U.S. national title under 17. That means we had to win our district in California. Then we had to win the NorCal title. Then we had to win the California title. Then we had to win the U.S. regionals titles. And then to make it to the Final Four of the nation, and we had to win a semi, right? This is under 17 elite athletes, college level, amateur, still college level. A lot of them were national team players. and we won the national title. Then we made it back the next year, all the way to the championship game. We won the semi. We led 2-0 with 9 minutes left, and we lost. We got tied 2-2, and we lost on penalty kicks. And Jerry taught me that moment. Then we walked off the field. I remember just how overwhelming it was to lose a biggest game to me. That, you know, it's just hard to get back to that level. And that's when he told me about learning how to teach your players to coach themselves. And it was life altering.
Yeah, such an impression.
It was, because I took that philosophy to today. I hired
in all the things that you
100%
engage in.
You know, this was it was August of 1995, and I took this philosophy, you know, at San Jose State when I coached there. That's where we were very successful, you know, in our run for 5 years, because we were able to get the players to learn to teach and coach themselves. I did that in the after school setting, right? I hired the right staff because the kids came for the program, but they stayed because of the staff. You empower staff to make decisions. And same with the Sports Authority. San Jose State the same way. I'm a firm believer of training your staff to make the decision. And then with the Sports Authority, I mean, the success of our organization is our staff. It's not me. It's not the board chair. It's our staff are the ones who have the ear to the ground, right? Boots to the ground, setting up barricades, bike racks. But they're the ones that have to execute the vision we have. And they can do that because I trust their decision. I tell them, make decisions on your feet. Don't come to me. There's not a manual. Do what's right. And if I don't position myself to be in that successful position, then I didn't do my job. So it started with, I just was so fortunate to have such great coaches that believed in me as an athlete.
John, impressions are so important. And I would think that over your career, dealing with so many young people, that their lives have been so beneficially changed and impacted by your role. You never set out to do that intentionally, right? But the byproduct of what you have invested your time in today, think of the hundreds and thousands of young people that you and the organizations you have supported, what that ripple effect is and what impact that has on young people and their friends and who knows, their families now, perhaps.
Yeah, right? You've been that pebble in the pond.
Yeah, you really have. It's just so impressive. If our country could be full of John Poches, we would be super duper fat. And probably partly drunk on occasion.
No, sober as a judge, because there's no Vermentine on here.
It comes down to 4 words, right?
John, we're going to jump into a special section that we call the lightning round.
Remember, I believe in the motto, and I live it, is be good, do good.
Yeah.
That's the focus.
Such a simple but clairvoyant.
It has to be, right? So lightning round.
PQ.
Well, John, we have appreciated the time you've afforded us and our 1.5 listeners. And it's been a pleasure. I think we both gleaned and learned more about you than we even knew, and we're good friends.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Some of it actually interesting.
Yeah.
But
I'm the only guy that takes 90 minutes, about 60 minutes.
Bill and I have concocted what will sure to be our favorite segment of the podcast, and that is the lightning round. So quick questions, quick answers. Let's roll.
Sharks or Niners?
Go Sharks.
Santana Row or Willow Glen?
100% Willow Glen.
Martini or Manhattan?
Manhattan.
Tahoe or Vegas?
Tahoe, baby.
Favorite steakhouse?
That's the hardest one. I have too many. I'll probably have to go with Morton's.
Old school. Your first car?
Chevette.
Huh? Not even a Chevelle, but a Chevette.
Chevette. And believe me, I graduated that to a squareback Volkswagen.
Did you ever call the Chevette?
Never.
Actually, the squareback at least has some cachet. It was kind of a surfer rig. So.
That's what I try to tell myself that.
Sinatra or Elvis?
Sinatra's my life.
Oh, okay.
Biggest pet peeve?
It's just getting emails done. I don't go to bed till every email's been read.
What time do you go to bed, John?
I don't. I'm a night owl.
Yeah. Which leads into the next one, early bird or night owl. Let me guess.
My wife used to say my daughter's favorite cartoon as a kid was Jay Leno.
Favorite cereal, John?
Cereal?
Yeah. Call it as a young kid and maybe even advanced today.
Never, I guess.
Not a Fruity Pebbles kind of guy?
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes, that's all. There is an answer. Your favorite nickname?
Unfortunately, it's the one Stu. Stu from Stu Nod.
This is breaking news, folks.
Yep.
It's a term of endearment from Naples, kind of like you, knucklehead. And my uncle used to call me Stu growing up, as in Stu Nod. And once my daughter heard that as a little kid, my Christmas gift was a license plate that says Stu Nod. That's on my car to this day.
Beautiful. What car is that, John?
My GMC truck.
Great job. Beautiful.
Chevette. One word describing San Jose.
Loyalty.
One word describing you.
Patience.
I'd say just happy. Always positive. Favorite concert?
Anytime I get to see U2.
Did you see U2 when they opened at the Sphere?
I saw U2's first ever West Coast stop.
Okay.
My freshman year, San Jose State, March of 81, $5 at the Student Union. When they played their set, I bought their first 345s because they didn't have an album from the stage. And for an encore, they played the set again because they didn't know other songs.
Hey, Bono, did you hear that?
Yeah. We saw them 3 times in 5 nights. We road trip to the Warfield in San Francisco. And then 2 days later, we road trip to Sunset Boulevard, Whiskey a Go-Go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we saw U2. I played on an Irish soccer team then. So we saw them 3 times in 5 nights in 1981.
Good for you.
Never missed them since.
U2 Boy was their first album.
100%.
Yeah.
No wonder you know so much about Irish breath mints.
Yes.
Favorite sports moment?
Italy winning the 82 World Cup.
Favorite fast food?
Not really. I guess Super Taqueria.
Super Taqueria.
Love it.
And on those long drives to Temecula, you don't need to stop for anything other than that?
No. It's not fast food.
Okay.
You know, I do the coast because I bring my mom. And so Firestone Grill.
Oh, there you go.
You know, great tri-tip sandwich.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Or I go to Tino's Italian Market in Santa Barbara. Great Italian grinders. Oh, I have all the stops, believe me.
Yeah.
No fast food. I'm not a fast food guy.
Silverware up or down in the
Come on,
dishwasher?
definitely, yeah. I want to see where it's dirty.
Favorite TV show as a kid?
Get Smart.
Get Smart.
Chief, would you blame?
Agent 99.
Well, John, again, many thanks. We can't say enough for you, all you've done here at the San Jose Visitor Center, the locker room, which we're recording live, not.
Thanks to Graham from the Brandenburg Family Foundation.
It's all very cool, right? Another old San Jose family that's given back a lot as well. But you're right up there with them, pal. All you've done for our town. And we appreciate that you took time to pull up a chair.
And our thanks to Trevor and Chase of the San Jose Sports Authority team for helping us out here.
100%.
Otherwise.
As part of the pull up a chair from the 408 team.
That's right.
Thank you for not pulling the chair.
We were going to name it Pull a Finger. But with that, folks, we'll see you down the road.
Good to have you, John.
Thank you.
And Bill, now a word from our sponsor, if we actually had one. And if we did, we'd love it to be these folks from Cadillac.
The only way to travel is Cadillac style. Some people want more, not just a little bit. This is your life and you're the only one who's living it. Let's go, let's live, drive every mile. The only way to travel is Cadillac style. Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style. Cadillac style.
So, B, as we look to our segment of reflections of the 408, because at the end of the day, that's what we're about.
For
right?
sure.
And very topical right now as we sit on June 3rd. We have the state elections in our rearview mirror now.
Yeah, one day. Yeah.
One day. And so at least some definitive insight.
It'll take another, 20 days to count all the votes?
Yeah, painfully so. But I think the topic we'd like to pursue just briefly is San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan's somewhat historic run
For sure.
for the governorship.
Yeah.
A quick peruse of AI told us that there has not been a mayor of San Jose that has run for governor
Yep.
in the state of California to the extent that we understand. So
At least in recent time, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So, what does that mean? And, Matt, unfortunately, has withdrawn from giving the vote, is not in contention. Unfortunately, his numbers on the polls to the extent that you can believe them, never really rose to anything substantive for the long run, right? Yet, here we had a guy who put himself out there on the statewide stage, and in my own impression was that he was the adult on campus at those debates,
Yep.
how he comported himself, and really, I think did San Jose proud as a representative of our city, given that he's current mayor.
No question.
That being said, that didn't resonate, and there's probably 1,000 reasons for that they're all culling through and looking at. But I think our focus is what role did San Jose potentially have in that?
Yeah, I think San Jose was recognized, frankly, as a very competent town. Matt is a very good man of sound mind, sound character for sure. He is a creative fellow. He's a thoughtful fellow. He is a can-do fellow. He has focused here in San Jose on key issues, simplifying what city government is responsible to do to its citizenry. And he is performing on those matters, reducing homelessness, adding housing, getting San Jose back to becoming America's safest big city. Those are big challenges in today's world, and he does it with such grace and style, in my judgment. So I think what he presented to the state of California, while the votes weren't there to propel him into a runoff, was one of complete competency, one of thoughtfulness, one of heart. And so, it was a good swing at bat, and I think San Jose showed itself through its mayor, through its leader, its thoughtfulness, its competency. And in primaries, while this is an open primary, in many ways it drives the more rapid sides of respective sides to the polls. And so those that get the party funding, those that get the party nod, are oftentimes those that rise above the level that is required to go on to a general election. And so,
yeah, and I think, Bill, for me, that which you point out is Matt was at his best.
Yep.
When he was blocking and tackling specifically about issues, what he's done and his team here have accomplished, what his vision was, which he was fairly specific,
for sure,
as politics go. Where he was less effective, because I think maybe it's not him naturally, is when he would, and I term it pander to those, the red meat to the party. That it's a shame in this day and age that still goes on, but sure enough, it goes on in every race in every corner of our country. But it would have been nice to see earlier and often just hammering that vision, staying on message. I think we've seen some success in other races in the state that they did a really good job of being on message consistently. Whether you like that message or not, irrelevant, but they're in runoffs in their positions. And so did Matt not just jump on that early enough and often? I guess armchair quarterbacking is rife in politics, and so there'll be smarter people than me assessing that. But
for sure,
well, that's a given.
No, I think, I've heard actually commentary to the opposite of that, which would be that observation, which would be he was so mechanical and repetitive in his preaching, in his sharing of the successes of San Jose and focusing on those fundamentals. But look, we have a state that is out of control relative to its budget and its priorities and its obligations to its citizenry. The same is true, frankly, across the state, up and down municipalities and the federal government. The only good news there is that we're obligated to deliver a balanced budget. But every year for now, 15 or 18 years in the city of San Jose, we talk about budget cuts required or sacrifices of services to the public. And that's a very difficult situation to be in. But we're all facing it. Again, I think Matt has done some very good things in the city, has reached across the aisle. I just think that, Northern California is give or take 15 million people in sum total, maybe 12 to 15 million. Southern California is the bulk of the 45 million in the state, or 42 million, whatever the number is. And so if you're not a known commodity either in the party and have the party support the machinery behind, or from Southern California, getting that name recognition is a very, very difficult challenge.
And I would pose that San Jose, in part, was
well represented,
but you go to, did it move the dial on the perspective that Southern California residents had on San Jose?
Yeah.
I
I think there's many people that are voting today, and I heard it from some coworkers who would say, well, that person has no chance, therefore I'm going to put my vote to somebody that I can feel like I'm a winner with, which is, in my judgment, flawed strategy, but that's their choice.
Yeah.
And I think Matt was somewhat the victim in that regard as well. But here locally, right, at least as the polls read today, and there's still many, many votes left to count, roughly 11% of the vote is what Matt captured here in Santa Clara County, compared to 4 across the state. So that gives you some, bearing of, but he's a good man. I'm glad he's our mayor. I frankly would have hated to see him advance on one hand to the state as governor, but on the other hand, he could do so much more for San Jose and the region, bringing common sense to the governorship.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be interesting to see going forward. He has a year and a half left?
2.
Almost
plus
2 years left.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Or 2.5 years, left. And that'll be
years.
6 years all in. Or excuse me, 10 years all in.
6 years, then he'll have a chance to run again for another 4-year term.
Yeah.
So the city council...
it'll be 6 when he completes this term.
That's correct.
He had the 2.
That's correct. Yeah, the 2-year term, the city council modified its policies such that, or protocols such.
So will he stay focused and, after this run again, I guess, but will he stay focused and stick to San Jose? Well,
I think largely, Matt, we are not a strong mayor form of government. We're a strong city manager form of government in our city. And as such, Matt is really only one of 11 votes. He doesn't control the council, quote unquote, as perhaps some other strong mayors do in strong mayor form of governments. So every 2 years, seats will change in the city council, right? The odds, the evens districts, the odds just went. The evens will come in 2 years. Friends like Michael Mulcahy will run again. We'll see what happens there. If you can't get anything done as mayor, your primary goals and objectives, then that's really, you got to question. But
you question the system then as well.
But
because if people are voting in the mayor and the mayor can't bring a real change that the people voted that individual in for, that's an issue.
And they do rely on the mayor. I mean, after all, while the mayor is citywide elected and all the other 10 members of the 11-member council are district elected, people do point to the mayor. And they think that
100%.
Individual,
he or she
is the lightning rod and the one responsible. Yeah. So it is a bit unfair relative to that, given that the authority doesn't really truly rest with him. Now he controls many things, oversees many things, seeds committees. The mayor does. So we'll see. He is most congenial. He's most thoughtful.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for the future of San Jose.
Yeah, and I think too, now that he's back in play, right, full time, with what's happening in San Francisco, Daniel, while I don't know him at all, just looking at some of the results, reading some of the articles written about the next renaissance of that great city, that high tide raises all boats.
Yep.
And I think Matt is and Daniel Lurie have not dissimilar approaches and outlooks on their cities. And so I'm buoyed by the fact that, we could see that similar push forward. So Mayor Matt, thanks for weighing in for
sure.
all of San Jose.
Yep.
It takes some cojones to strap on that effort. And so, we all appreciate that.
For sure.
So, B, we made it through our first episode of Pull Up a Chair from the 408.
Isn't that great?
And
It has been your lifelong dream.
it has been my lifelong dream.
I think your first words to your mother were, I want to do a podcast.
Actually, was more pleased. But nonetheless, having the comfort blanket that was our first guest, John Poch.
Yeah,
super easy.
He was amazing.
We just had to wind him up and watch him go, and could listen to him forever, which I think we did.
Yeah.
And so looking forward to ensuing episodes, ensuing guests.
We're going to sue guests.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that John is so inspiring. He is a man for others. He serves his community like nobody's business. He's one of the most wonderful people that we've ever come in contact with as a friend.
Yeah.
But as a community booster, one of the very special people.
Yeah, totally agree. And we've got a lot more guests, though they don't know it, lined up of similar ilk in their own walk of life in the corner of our city.
Yep.
And super excited about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see you all down the road on Pull Up a Chair from the 408.
Thanks for listening.